Sachidanand, Lalita Ben.
Jai Sachidanand, Aruna Ben.
How are you doing?
I'm recovering well, thank you.
Oh, that's good. So you're walking without a cane and everything now.
Yes, I'm driving.
Oh,
No.
very wonderful.
Yeah.
Did you
So-
have a robotic assisted surgery or
Yes.
the regular way?
No, robotic knee replacement.
Yeah, right, robotic, yeah.
Mhm.
Because that's the only quick way to recover.
Yes, it's kind of rough, but yeah, I was sent home the same day I came walking. I climbed the steps.
Right.
So,
No, they don't hospitalize anymore. The same day surgery, you have to get out.
that's right. That's right. They give you a block that lasts 36 hours or so.
Right.
Okay, okay, our time is up. Pulinanandji, can you do three mantra, please?
Namo vitragaय.
Namo.
Right.
Namo arihantanam.
Namo Vaidyantanam.
Namo siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo vasayanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo loye savasahunam.
Namo Loe Savasam.
Eso panchana mukkaro.
Eso Panchamukharo.
Savapavapanasano.
Sauva Parasam.
Manglanancha savesem.
Mangalam Chasavesi.
Adamam havai mangalam.
Padmam Bhavam Mangalam.
Mangala.
Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om namah shivaya.
Om Namah
Om
Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand Mahatma. So last time we did no Kalam and Agnas, and also we left in the end to see if you will observe ahari, nihari, and vihara. So anybody wants to share? Ronavan, you can share because you've been with Auna. Vihari, ahari, nihari. Ronavan?
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but I look at all of it and try to, I don't know how to say it in the words.
ગુજરાતીમાં કોઈ પછી ટ્રાન્સલેશન કરશે.
Not necessarily. Yeah, just look at ahari, ahar karve che, that I look at is like what is on my plate, and whatever is there is vyavasthit, and just sometimes it may be more salt or maybe more chili in the food, but accept it as it is. And vihari, I look at is how my health is today, how my leg is hurting or not, if my hands are painful or not. I look at that way.
Okay, very good. Anybody else?
Uncle, I would like to share this.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So for the past month and a half, me and Khushbu, we both are, and the kids, of course, we all are like on a medication and trying to have a clean diet and all that. And that has been a very unique experience because up till now, the food was like, okay, je bhavtu hai, right? Jeni ichha thai. પણ હવે healthy eating કરવાનું છે એટલે when you eat something clean, you literally know what your senses are craving, whether it is good for you, whether it is bad for you. અને એની જોડે જોડે એક બીજું એ સારું થાય છે કે ખાતા વખતે એમ લાગે છે કે ના, આ ખાવાની એક ક્રિયા થઈ રહી છે and I am just observing it. So that is what has my experience been. And then along with that, the other experience is that કે હવે દવા પતવા આવી છે, એટલે પાછું મન એ રીતે થયું કે હે 1.5 મહિનો થઈ ગયો, આપણે આ બધું ખાધું નથી, હવે આપણે આ ખાઈશું, હવે આ ખાઈશું. Like it goes back into that. અને પછી પાછું મન એ સાઈડ થી આવે કે ના ભાઈ, આટલા ટાઈમ સુધી તમે સરસ રીતે રહેલા, તો હવે શું થયું છે? સ્લોલી એન્ડ સ્ટડીલી કરાય કે નહીં વસ્તુ, એટલે એક વાર્તાલાપ ચાલે. સો એ આહાર કરે છે એ વાળા માટે એકદમ, it was a very unique experience to observe. I just immediately started observing this because I went on a clean eating diet because medication and all. And with this whole hybrid work situation, anyways, we work few days from home, some days you have to travel. So it has become a habit that anytime you sit in the car, anywhere you're going, પહેલા 3 મંત્ર બોલો, વિહારી વિહાર કરે છે, હું નિર્વિહારી માત્ર તેને જાણું છું. એ આખી it just comes out naturally with me and the kids. And with that, the travel has been so stress free. ઇન્ડિયા જેવો ટ્રાફિક નથી, એટલે એકદમ આમ જે મોશન ઇમોશન્સ જે બધા થાય એવા તો ના થાય, બટ સ્ટીલ ફ્રસ્ટ્રેશન જે આવે ટ્રાફિકનું એનું, એ જરાય નથી આવતું. ઇટ્સ લાઈક ઓકે, ઇટ ઇઝ નેચરલી ગોઈંગ, કઈ નહીં તો 2 મિનિટ 5 મિનિટ નીકળ્યા વહેલા થશે. અને with that, I have noticed that when things, I have to say get to a meeting and I'm already running late, because of this vidhi, at times it comes to the point where સામેવાળી પાર્ટી સામેથી જ મેસેજ કરીને કે તમારે અત્યારે વાંધો નહીં, આઈ એમ રનિંગ 15 minutes late, હું 15 મિનિટ મોડો થઈશ. સામેથી ચાલીને એ લોકો કહે છે કે સોરી, આઈ એમ રનિંગ લેટ, can we meet after 15 minutes? Whereas actually it is me running late. So that experience has been really good over the years. So that's what I wanted to share.
Very good. Pulinanandji?
No, good. In the whole process, Vyavasthit Shakti is what you will now try to understand.
Yeah.
Basically, Vyavasthit Shakti is in Vyavasthit Shakti, it is ordained that the two of you meet, whatever that business meeting may be. And if you are late, then Vyavasthit organizes the other person also is late. It has also been my experience that at times when we are late to a particular appointment, we must try our level best but not panic, because maybe the other person also is going to be late, which I have felt. એટલે, we did not panic. Basically, we did not panic. We try our level best to accelerate our reaching in time and then leave it at that. We can add one or two this thing as a file, સંભાવે નિકાલ કરવાની શક્તિ આપો, and just leave it at that. That intention setting is there, that we don't want to hurt the other person or create problems for the other person where he has to wait for us. It is a file where it is a file because of situation beyond our control. We are for some reason are getting late, and we don't want to hurt the other person or don't want to hurt the whatever that thing is going to take place, meeting or whatever. So our intention setting is sambhavitika, equanimous settlement, and we leave it, and then it will happen that even if the person has to wait, he will not be upset. So basically, start realizing or observing Vyavasthit Shakti in play. In such cases, we should start observing Vyavasthit Shakti at play. Just as you started observing Vihari Vihar kare che, when you sat in the car and you start saying the prayers, that the person who is traveling, the traveler is traveling, and I, the pure soul, is the observer. So that is again a setting of our Jagruti. Setting of our Jagruti or awareness that I am the pure soul and the person who is traveling is separate from me. So that intention setting or the setting of the Jagruti is what works. Otherwise, we are generally Tanmayakar with file number 1, we are engrossed with file number 1. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to rush, I have to drive now, there will be traffic here. Child is not getting in, he's getting late. All that thing, the intellect is at play, and then it has an effect on us. But moment we say the prayers, 3 mantra and all, so we are coming out of that, the antaskaran, which is at play, the intellect and the mind, which is bombarding by discharge way. This is getting late, he's not listening, that will happen, this will happen. But moment is 3 mantra, you are getting out of that, you're not listening to that. And moment you get out of that, that is what is causing stress free. That is what you said. In a moment as it has become an auto mode, the prayers just happen, and then the driving is stress free. That is because I have to do this and this will happen and that will happen. That portion gets cut off when you say 3 mantra. For a brief time, say a minute or so, while you are reciting the 3 mantra, for that brief time, you are separate from the antaskara. You're not listening to the mind, you're not listening to the intellect.
Yes.
So, basically as if you put an earplug, when there's a noise outside, good, when you put the earplug, it's so cool, no? It's something like that. Where you are detached from the antaskaran, and because you're detached, it becomes stress-free or it becomes cool, sort of, you're not hurt. So I think this is the key for all things, that as and when required, we have to detach ourselves from file number 1, detach essentially from antaskaran, basically. And the only way of detaching from there is to get anchored in the pure soul. That is Shuddhatma, in the awareness of that I'm the pure soul. So you are detached. Or as you said, we say something else, so we get detached. Like you said the 3 mantra. Somebody may chant Asim Jayakaro or whatever. So diversion by way of chanting, or separating, getting into the pure soul awareness by way of Shuddhatma, I am the pure soul. Those are 2 key purushas which will detach you from the file number 1. And that will bring you an observer status, and then it will not affect you in terms of stress or pain or anxiety. But it's not even stress, it's anxiety. Basically, it's anxiety. So that anxiety portion will go away. Will go. That is number 1. And coming to your previous experience of food, that because of ill health, you were on a forced diet, which was not quite comfortable with what you have been eating. So each morsel was, ye kya hai, શું છે આ બધું? So that awareness increased. Who is eating? So the opposite also works, that when that is not in play, the restricted diet is not in play, and the diet or the food you are eating which you like, you relish, at that time what will happen is you'll get totally engrossed. Maja aa gaya, enjoyed it. So that enjoyment portion makes you engrossed into it. And that is where the awareness goes away, that eater is eating and I am not the eater. How do you bring that? You see, food is a tricky issue, and it will take a lot of purushat and a lot of time to remain separate while eating food. So why? Because we have charged that there is happiness in food. We have brought a belief with us that food is a source of happiness. Whatever food each one has decided, spicy food, fancy food. Yeah. It is so this is what we have charged. So those atoms we have charged, and then whenever it comes, the discharge will play out, that you will get engrossed into it because you want to experience happiness from it. You see. એમાં સુખ છે એટલે સુખ લેવાનું અંદર બનાયેલું છે. The ego, the discharge ego will get engrossed into it. That is the discharge force. It is incidentally that we have got Akram Vignan, and incidentally that we have got the awareness that I am separate and the body is separate and I am the observer. For the worldly people, it will play out like that only. This food I relish, I enjoy. Pani puri I relish, I enjoy. Pizza I relish, I enjoy. Oh, today will be fun. Because that fun he had charged that way in the previous birth. I will eat like this of food. I'll be very happy. I will eat nice, tasty food. he has imposed happiness in food by way of charge. So that is now playing out in discharge. That is, the mind will crave for it, Basically, the mind has to crave for it. The mind means thought has to come that let me eat this. This means whatever I like. Say pizza, say something else. So the mind will keep saying, let's eat this, let's eat this, let's do, because I have imposed happiness in that. So by way of discharge, that will happen. And when you get that food as per the mind's desire, then you enjoy it and you are totally engrossed into it. The sense of taste.
Times I've observed getting engrossed with the thought કે મને આ ખાવા મળશે. Not કે હજુ ખાધું છે, ખાવા મળશે.
It start, right?
Yeah.
Even if the meal is going to be prepared in the evening, right? In the morning, it starts. Arey, aaj sham ko ye hai, aaj sham ko ye hai. This evening we are having this food. This evening we are having this food. That's true. That's true. See that is the order of imposition of happiness. We have imposed happiness in food so much, and then we relish it. It happens the other way also. Suppose someone is fond of traveling, and then he is going on a vacation to a nice place. Then that thing, oh, this summer I'm going there. This summer I'm going there. Is it? So in all places, we have imposed that happiness in all the five senses, in all events, everything. So we are very fortunate that because of this Akram Vignan, we are able to observe all this separately. Maybe not at that point of time, but later on. Later on, you have realized that this is what happened with me. This is what was happening inside me,
Yeah.
So we are very fortunate that we are able to observe what's happening to file one, maybe instantaneously or maybe later on. And then today we are saying, oh, this is not desirable. Previous birth, that was the source of happiness. Now we have found that no, pure soul is the source of happiness. And now I want to go to moksha. So our agenda has changed in this birth. Our knowledge and desire have changed in this birth. That I want to be free from the body. I want to free from all the karmas. I want to go to moksha. Whereas when in the previous birth, we have charged as happiness in the body senses, and happiness in worldly life. So this is conflict of two knowledges or two information, previous birth information and this birth information. Is it? So this is all that we have to understand technically what is happening, basically. And once we understand, then we can face it more easily, more conveniently. In the sense, oh, so this thought has come. Okay, you want to eat this, or you will be eating this, So just observe it and then say, okay, fine, observed. Just observe and leave it at that. And if you want to do offline pursha, that is when you're not eating or when you're free, then you can do a reverse, this thing, reverse opinion that food is not a source of happiness. Food is not a source of happiness. Food is not a source of happiness. So when you say that, the moment the thoughts of eating food and not only eating food, but deriving happiness from that food. Today I am going to have pizza, maja aayega. Or whatever that food you like.
Yeah.
Pizza is only a random example.
Yeah.
So at that time, this awareness of today's Purusharth, that food is not a source of happiness, food is not a source of happiness, then that will nullify that. Pizza, I say, maja aayega. No, food is not a source of happiness. So that will balance it out, will cut it out. So then you will be able to eat with the pizza. You may relish, but then you will also observe the person who is relishing. Our our science is such that we will observe file number 1 eating and relishing and enjoying, and then you talk to file number 1 by way of Purusharth that, okay, you're eating, but now remember, don't ask for it more. Just square off. Just square off. So that is the post Purusharth while eating and enjoying. And as you said, when you don't get the food of your liking, then again the same Purusharth will help. Food is not a source of happiness. Chalo, khalo, come eat whatever has happened to you. Today, that means you are recently on a diet, where you have to eat things which you didn't plan food, maybe. And looking at from a little different viewpoint, Dada Bhagwan used to say, whatever happiness we derive from the five senses or from the body, Pudgal Sukh, as they say it, that is all on loan and it will have to be repaid. All happening on loan. So what was happening in your case was repayment of loan only. The happiness that we had derived from good food in the previous years, then nature puts a break. No, you don't have to eat this food. So the bland food causes unhappiness, So that happiness and unhappiness is squaring off each other. It's a repayment of loan. And then again, in the ignorant state, we desire, oh, let this diet or medication get over. Then again, I'll go back to the good food. That happens. So that shows that we have imposed so much of happiness in food. Food as a source of happiness, and that is playing it out. That's so observe it and then say, okay, now I am not in your favor. The mind or the thoughts will come, but our purushas will be, I am not in your favor. Food is not a source of happiness. Just say that inside. When thoughts come now, akhasu maja avse. No, food is not a source of happiness. Just leave it at. So you are not getting again engrossed in the food, because then again taking more loan and again more repayment. And all repayment typically comes at the old age, when there are strict restrictions on diet and all that. So it's very fortunate that at this young age you have this piece of information, and now you'll be vigilant whenever any loan you are taking from the body. You have to caution file number 1. Yeah, you are eating, but mind well, there'll be a repayment. So eat in moderation. And one who is taking happiness, observe that also. Not that you have to become very nearest, you don't have to become very tasteless.
Yeah.
You do observe how file number 1 Kaushal is eating, he's enjoying it, and just leave it at that. Kaushal, you are eating, but just remember it's not a source of happiness.
Yeah.
So the discharge is also play out. You are not becoming totally bland or totally, tasteless. And at the same time, you are not squaring off the account. It's not getting carried forward. If you're engrossed and again come back, it'll get carried forward. The opinion that there is happiness in food will get carried forward. Then again, you have to square it off, if not in this, but the next birth.
Yeah.
So it's good, basically, if I may summarize your experience, is that you have got a heightened awareness when you were required to eat bland food by way of diet restriction. Ahari, nihari, because you're eating something you don't eat. So you become separate. So carry that awareness forward even while you're eating the food you like. The separation part took place over there. And as you said, when you go out or when you are driving, you say those 3 mantras and all. So that again is a part separation. And that is what is giving you peace, stress-free or anxiety-free. Carry forward that experience in other areas also, that if I am able to remain separate from Kaushal for so many other activities also, then it will be wonderful. Maybe at work also. You see Shuddhatma in the people around you, boss and subordinates and colleagues. So again, you will become separate from file number 1. So there again, you will enjoy. Or be anxiety free. Again, file Sambhavanikal, which we did when we were doing the Agnas and all. And you did have experiences of that type. So these are all keys, essentially, to be a separate observer of file number 1. Observe what is happening inside file number 1 by way of thoughts, by way of intellect, and be an observer of file number 1 by way of whatever file number 1 is doing in terms of external behaviors or speech. So even if speech someone hurts, then you will immediately be vigilant. Yesterday also I had something. I just happened to meet someone, and then not that I knew that person, but he left a book for me, and I just saw the book that is of no use. Then I bumped into him, and he said, "You got the book?" I said, "It's of not much use." "Hey, what is of not much use? It is so nice, you should read it." Then immediately I said, apna galti ho." I said, yes, fine, it is good. I will go into it. The awareness, the next second you come to know that you have hurt the other person. You need not voice out your frank opinions every time. I thought he was a Mahatma, so he would take it in the right spirit, but he didn't take it in the right spirit. So then I had to retrace. So
Pulinanandji,
that's
one thing I've observed with this is the physical change. that's happening at the event of that thought. At times, I've observed that I'm getting frustrated, or if I'm liking something, so મોઢામાં પાણી આવે કે અંદર you feel happiness from inside. You observe that emotions coming, or at least at that time at times. Not all the time, but yes. ક્યારેક કોઈ ગુસ્સો આવતો હોય તો આમ ખ્યાલ પડે કે તમારો પારો વધે છે, ક્યારેક કામ થતા હોય કે હા ભાઈ ચલ તારે જે કરવું હોય કર. I'm neutral in this.
And this is, yeah, so that's heightened awareness. That is heightened or increased awareness. The result of so many satsangs and understanding the other science, you see. When you attended so many satsangs in the youth and otherwise also, you have got the hang of the basic akram vignan or the science, the cause and effect principle, that we are separate, the soul is separate. So some amount of understanding is perfect with you, but awareness also is increased. So when you do a pointed push-up, immediately that awareness pops up over there. Like if I give a worldly example, if you're traveling, commuting from home to office by one route, and then you have found some traffic blocks, and then you decide to take another route. So, and then the third or fourth day when you have to again go, then immediately that experience will pop up. Don't take this route, take that route. That information experience pops up at the right time, you see. Same thing is happening here. This information and experience is popping up at the right time, and your awareness is happening at the point when the event is taking place. So it is good that, you know what basically it means is the knowledge that you have acquired is getting assimilated. Whatever satsangs you underwent, then you did your own purushas. So that hardcore experience of yours has resulted in a heightened awareness. જાગૃતિ વધી ગઈ છે એટલે હવે તમને ત્યાં ને ત્યાં જ દેખાય છે. So for all of us, that will be the route. That will be the route in the sense, start with awareness. We will start being observing what's happening to file number 1. It may be the discharge may be in alignment with our goals, or it may be against our goals, but we'll start observing that the right is happening or the wrong is happening. And then the purusharth will take place. So I'm not in favor. This is wrong. And gradually, as the entire discharge force will play out or will get exhausted, then it will come into behavior. Permanent behavioral change will come when all the discharge force is exhausted, or it has been reduced to a reasonable extent. વર્તનમાં ક્યારે આવે તો ઘણો બધો discharge મોહ પૂરો થઈ જાય ત્યારે. Then it will come into behavior, and a large extent of discharge moh gets exhausted. In the last 20-30%, so we can manage at the thought level only. Will you eat this pizza? Maza aayega. No. Thought, okay, thank you. I have listened to you. Bye-bye. So at the thought level itself, go away. So it will immediately come in behavior also. We just go to the dining table. What has come in the plate? Accept it. So even the balance discharge mode will get squared off without affecting or impacting our behaviors. Until that time, this interplay of two forces, the discharge force of happiness, imposed happiness in 5 sensory, and today's awareness, our Jagruti, which says, no, I want to remain in pure soul and find number of separate. So the interplay of two forces, Agnan and Gnan, discharge and today's Gnan. And whichever wins, the behavior will be according to that. Till the discharge gets diminished or reduced. It's a good experience. Good. This is all we have to do. All of us have to do the same thing. Observe. Entire file number 1 means the mind, the intellect, the chit, where the chit is wandering, the ego, and the speech and the behavior, the body actions and all that. True. Perfect. Good.
Kaushal, were you able to lose weight in this process, or?
Yes. Lost almost 8 pounds.
Oh, okay, that's not that much. Okay, so it was family affair, or you only did it?
No, family affair. All of us.
Oh, so okay, Khushbu has a good experience too?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Maybe she's online. If she can share, that'll be great. Okay, thanks, Kaushal.
Thank you, Nicole.
Okay, Kashyap.
Yes, everyone, JSS Achidan, Rajniji, JSS Achidan,
Jai
Pulinanandji.
Satchidanand.
Yeah, some experience I would like to share, and then one short question on another topic or maybe related topic. The now Kalam. Okay. Yeah. So this ahari, vihari. So as I understand, it is all for all senses. What comes in our in front of our eyes, and what we hear, and what we have to do, So we have to deal with that. So starting from this morning, we see the satsang, WhatsApp satsang comes, and then we have a file comes, or we have to go somewhere, and then of course uh, the the food which we eat. So we do three mantra, and then we find that when we do three mantra, the digestive organs they start changes come in that, so they relax, and so, and basically what I understood is that by this whole process we are changing our belief and our manyata that we are the doer, so we are not the doer, so we are the observer. So this is my understanding, so what I got from that.
Perfect. Basically, this Purusha is to remain separate from file number one.
Yeah.
We have got this thing. When we got Gnan, our belief has changed that, oh, I'm not the name bearer, I'm the pure soul. To some extent, we got experience and a Jagruti also, or awareness also. Now, to increase that awareness, and so that it can ultimately translate into permanent experience, this Purusharth is there. This is Purusharth of being a vigilant or observer of the mind, body, speech. So then in parts that observe the speech or observe the action or observe the antaskaran. These are all Purusharth to remain separate or to increase the awareness that I am pure soul separate from the body. You're right. Perfect. You have to observe what file number one is which. Perfect.
And still in the process of understanding the things. So because there's a vast literature, and what we have to go which Dadaji have given. So, and our what is our aim and all, we are still in the process of understanding. And some also, while this in the process, some understanding is there that this is our past mistakes. So what kind of mistakes? One mistake which I would like to tell is regarding language. So I clearly remember that I used to make fun of that this lesson, some languages, even including Gujarati. So that time I didn't understand that it is wrong. Now I understand that it's wrong. So like that. So past mistakes, I can, like you say, that you can guess, that this is the past mistake which is coming in front of us. So that is also part of this observation.
Very good. Very good. Very good. And then, if necessary, if required or if necessary, you may like to do pratikamans of the past mistakes, so that those will get washed away, and it will help you in the mistakes not getting repeated.
How you do pratikraman for when you insult one language,
Language, as you said, basically the mistake that you discovered was you were making fun of people, and maybe the Gujarati people or Gujarati language.
Not people, only the language.
So then you have to change the opinion. Hey, Dada Bhagwan, I made fun of the Gujarati language in whatever way. I apologize. I regret. મને ક્ષમા કરો. અને ફરીથી એવો દોષ નહીં કરું. I will not repeat the mistake again. Please forgive me. That's all. Basically, it's a short repentance of the thing which you feel, which you have now realized was not correct. Because we are aiming at Syadvad, na? So we cannot.
Yeah, but what happens is that we relate to some language, some culture or something. We value that, and other things we will make fun of. So this is what used to happen before. So now after understanding, now understand. No, this is not correct. It's not a correct way.
Perfect. It is somewhat that second column at play. કોઈ પણ ધર્મનું કિંચિત માત્ર પ્રમાણ ના દુભાય. Not the belief of any. Basically, each culture, say Gujarati culture, say other culture, Muslim culture, Parsi culture. So each culture is based on the prakriti of those people, and then those likes and dislikes are appropriate for those prakritis. So our understanding is now increasing. We are having a broadened understanding that every prakriti is right at its own place. Every jeev, every human being has a different development level. So for that development level, whatever he or she is eating, speaking, or cultural merrymaking, or cultural functions or events and all, they are appropriate for those people, because each has a different level of development. And the classic example that Dada Bhagwan used to give was that, as in a school, we have various classes, standard 1, standard 2, standard 3. So based on the development of that child, he will get that standard, and based on that standard, he will get an appropriate teacher who will teach to him at his understanding level. So same way, Vitrags had the same understanding with all human beings, and for that matter, for all living beings, that every living being has a discharge prakriti, which is based on his karmas and his development. So they're playing out or speaking or behaving according to whatever their understanding level is. So it is right. The moment I feel that it is right, although I may be at a higher level, I'm in the 10th standard, and I see the 4th standard student doing something funny, but I will say, no, it is right, because it is his development. So Vitrag had that all-encompassing vision that all living beings and all human beings are appropriate. It is all discharge, this thing. So moment I feel it is appropriate, so making fun doesn't arise. Typically, making fun arises when I feel I'm superior to someone else. Maybe my language, behavior, culture, whatever is superior to the Gujarati, as you said, one example, at random. So when that superiority feeling comes in, the process of making fun comes. If that superiority feeling goes away by way of this right understanding, that I also come from such this background once upon a time in some life works, maybe. So it's a process of evolution. And once we accept everybody right at their appropriate levels, then the respect for them comes, and then the making of fun or hurting their feelings automatically goes. So that is where Syadvad, Vani, Vardhan, and Manan come into play. Why Tirthankas are at that level, or why Gnani Purush at that level? Because he has understood this very well, and it is constant in his awareness. It is constant awareness that everyone is just a discharge play out of this thing. So they don't see them as a doer. You see, they don't see them a doer. It's a play of discharge prakritis. So they are not at fault, or they are innocent. And little more than that is, they have a still better awareness that ultimately everybody is a pure soul, the permanent pure soul, and the discharge prakriti is a temporary covering. So it is a covering or a temporary. The body is nothing but an accumulation of all parmanus, which each individual has charged according to his understanding and his level of development. So they only see the two things. These are parmanus at play, and the pure soul is innocent. And so it is just like remaining an observer. Like supposing we go into a fish aquarium, for a big fish aquarium. Once I'd gone in the US now, someone took me in a very big aquarium. I think it was which city, I don't remember. But it was something very wonderful and out of the world, huge thing, So there also, I was just seeing all the packing, the various shapes and sizes of the fishes, and some are colorful and small and big and good, So just as I was an observer, oh, these are all Shuddhatma and all the various packings. Same way, Tirthankas or Gnani had this understanding imbibed into them so well that awareness always there, oh, this is all Parmanus at play. So there is the question of being judgmental as good, bad, right, wrong, attachment, detachment, all that is just not there. Just Parmanus at play. Just like I was a detached observer. I was a detached observer at the aquarium, that packing and Shuddhatma. For me, it was of course a brief that whatever that 1 hour or 2 hours we spend over there. For them, it's 24/7. That they're just observing the Parmanus at play, the Prakrutis at play, and the Shuddhatma within. So that is that heightened awareness, which you are now getting, or we all Mahatmas are now getting. And this realization, as and as it comes to us, then that making fun or feeling of inferiority or superiority will gradually diminish. Just a play of Parmanus. Just a play of
Can I ask one a question for regarding Jagat Kalyan?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
The ninth Agna, you said that that when our state is when we are perfect in the other other Kalams, then the ninth Kalam, it by our vibrations, the Jagat Kalyan happens. This is correct?
Yeah. As an we become more and more pure. We, in the sense, the Prakriti becomes pure. The discharge, kashas and discharge more disintegrate or they diminish. The Pudgal or the body itself, the presence of the body itself will make everybody, Jagat Kalyan type of thing.
What is the scope of that? How much? I would like to know what is the range of that. The Tirthankars, Jagat Kalyan. They do Jagat Kalyan of because it is said that they are, for example, they are in the range and condition of that is that other person also has other factors and other person has to be ready. Then only the Jagat Kalyan happens. First thing, and then what is the scope is, what is the scope of that? So is there any scope, or it is varies from Tirthankar to Tirthankar?
Scope means there is no definition as such. See, Tirthankar has got Jagat Kalyan, so his scope is very wide. He covers many, many living beings or human beings who get enlightened, get Keval Gnan, or some get motivated towards the path of renunciation, some get motivated towards the path of moksha. So for him, it's total and complete. Whoever comes, and then the radius of that Jagat Kalyan in terms of distance or area or this thing also is large.
But
For us,
see, he's in different world and we are in different world. The path is also there. That
when in our world, when Tirthankar, Mahavir Bhagwan or others Tirthankar were there, so he's doing it in the other world. He's doing it in Mahavir Kshetra. For us, even Mahatmas, if they even Mahatmas, as they evolve in Jagruti, as they discharge kashas and more dissipate or disintegrate, their presence also will help people who come in touch with them. Basically, it will help people who come in touch with them. And if nature wants his behaviors or his message, nature will decide how to make use of that enlightened state. That nature will decide. We have to only just have the bhavana. Nature will do the need.
The Tirthankar Srimanta Swami is in Mahavidya Kshetra, so his presence will be more useful for that Kshetra, right? Not for Bharat Kshetra that much.
For us also, it will be useful in the sense, although we have not physically in touch with him, but we are there by way of connectivity through the medium of Dada Bhagwan. So Dada and even other Tirthankars had indicated that in Bharat Kshetra, in this now that Lord Mahavir is the last Tirthankar, and for the remaining people, Srimanta Swami is the life Tirthankar, so they should be worshipping him. So that indication was given in the Kramik and Dada Bhagwan also. So the benefit that we can also get is, because he is live, maybe in a different this thing, the benefit we can get of his worshipping or doing namaskars to him is that we will also start becoming vitrag, number one. We'll become vitrag, number one. Number two, we will generate situations where we take birth in Mahavir Kshetra and come in physical or close contact with him. By doing his bhakti, we are generating those type of karmas. I may not say karmas, but we are generating causes. We are laying causes for we getting born in our Kshetra, in his touch.
So if
that is
Tirthankar was today there, so he has a Hinsak effect, so non-violent effect. So wars and all will be reduced to.
yes, generally, yes. There is a lot of peace wherever he goes. There's a lot of peace and tranquility wherever he goes. Yes, that's true.
So today
violence.
there is no Tirthankar, so we see wars and all fighting, amongst people.
Well, this is all the effect of the era, fifth era, Panchamara or Kali Yuga, as they say it. In Kali Yuga, the dvesh, negativity, all this will always be there. And maybe a brief period of that 200, 300 years is there, after which everything will gradually go down. No? So that is the cyclic nature of events. As the Tirthankar goes, then Gnanis will remain, Gnani will remain, Dada Bhagwan Akram Vignan or Gnan will remain. Till that remains, little bit of good wisdom will remain. Maybe people will have the right wisdom, they may lay causes so that they will able to go to moksha, maybe indirectly after some births. But after that, again, everything will go away. In the sixth era, there will be no Gnani, no temple, no scripture, nothing. And then all.
What about the effect of the Kevali? They also have a similar effect.
Kevali, the little that I know of, they may be instrumental, may not be instrumental. They do their own work. Means in the sense, they get Keval Gnan and whatever Ayusha Karma is there, that much they exhaust and go away. Whosoever may come in touch with them casually may get enlightened, but they are not a Jagat Kalyan ka nimit. They are not instrumental for Jagat Kalyan on a larger scale. On a larger scale, no. They have it on a very limited scale. Very limited. Whosoever may become and how much of Ayusha is remaining, how much of lifespan is remaining.
They have non-violent effect on others, like.
Yes. That's what I said. Those who come in touch with them, to them it may impact them and it may help them.
Okay.
But the number of people that coming and getting enlightened through him is generally said to be limited. Very few. Whosoever comes.
What about the Mahatmas?
Mahatmas can be Jagat Kalyan ka nimit. Again, to the extent he has evolved, he or she has evolved, and to the extent the number of people they come in touch with them by way of friends, relatives. So in fact, today also it is making an impact. I have seen some stories or experiences where Mahatmas who do daily prayers or chanting, Dada Bhagwan Jai or do artis and all, and then servants, they observe them. And they also feel very happy. Oh, this is very nice and good. So it does impact. It does impact. Our Mahatmas also, you see, we are non-violent. We don't see others as thing. We don't be aggressive or take revenge. So in the buildings where we are staying, our neighborhood, or our workplace, or some relatives, they will see definitely they will see that there is a difference in the behavior pattern of a Mahatma vis-a-vis the worldly being. So it does impact to them. इसमें कुछ है. They may not accept it or get converted into our thought process or our viewpoint, or they may not align with Dada Bhagwan's vision. But it will definitely have an impact. Yes, that these people are nice. They are sober. They are not rebellious. And why Mahatmas? Mahatmas to will definitely. But even otherwise, if I take non-Mahatmas also, even non-Mahatmas, a person who is generally good, sober, loving, affectionate, serving people and all, it does impact people. No? People like him. Oh, he's a nice person. So good
This
behavior.
impact reduces with distance, as I understand. Is it correct?
Distance in the sense, if you don't come in proximity, how will you understand? No? If we are not in touch with her, but we are touch in electronic medium. So to an extent, my speech will have some impact on you. But if you physically are close to me, you will observe me also. So the impact will little be more. Impact is there depending on the how much you see the person. How much you see them.
Basically, ninth Kalam, we don't have to do Jagat Kalyan, we just have to have Bhavna, and whatever Prakriti will fulfill that. This is I understood. Is it correct?
Perfect. That is exactly what Dada Bhagwan has said. Okay, you only do the bhavna, nature will do the needful. So that this Jagat Kalyan Nimitta, maybe I be the instrument in the welfare of the world. This bhavna will do two things. One thing is whatever abilities or talents that are with you, it will be utilized in the mission of welfare of the world in Jagat Kalyan. Someone is a good writer, orator, or organizer of events or satsangs and all. So your natural talents and abilities will be used in the broader Jagat Kalyan mission. That is number one. And number two, you yourself will become improve. Your prakriti will improve. So that by way of your mind, body, speech, some amount of purity will get reflected or will affect people. So it'll work at two ends. One at personal self-improvement, the discharge prakriti, and utilization of the discharge prakriti's talents and abilities in the mission of Jagat Kalyan. So that's why you just do bhavna, because today what Dada Bhagwan was as a Gnani Purush, he had this tremendous desire that Jagat Kalyan must take place. And he wanted to be instrumental. And then he had this very deep desire that even the layman must understand the deep concepts of Tirthankars or this. And layman must, without any tyag, without giving up or forgiving any worldly life, without forgiving worldly life, he must attain moksha. So he had such a deep sense of this thing that it evolved into he coming as a Gnani Purush in the fifth era, and he's speaking in very simple language. Even a layman can understand very difficult concepts of Shastras that we all know if you read his Aptamanis and all, And the unique words that have come out, he himself in this birth was SSC fail, non-matriculate, but he spoke such beautiful English, real viewpoint, relative viewpoint, and the world is the puzzle, you are whole and soul. Now, from where all that comes? The word file, what a word he has given. Huge scriptures knowledge just get condensed into one word, and you are on this thing. Dada ke 45 agam, this 45 scriptures, all in the 5 agnas. So from where all those words have come? That was his deep desire that even a layman, simple man must understand and achieve moksha. So by way of discharge, these things have happened. So Dada says, I have also laid the seeds of Jagat Kalyan. Now you also lay your seeds. Then nature will do the needful.
And
You
we
will
are
become
going
instrument.
using
We
Dadaji's
don't
word,
have to do Jagat Kalyan. We have to only have this thing desire to be an
desire.
instrument. Because you see, moment otherwise you will become a doer, no? No, you don't have to
Right.
be a
Right.
it could
And
happen. You have to be
using
an instrument.
using Dadaji's words, we are going from words to wordless state, right? Observer state.
Ah,
That is
yeah, The more we come into observer state, nature itself will make us instrument. Because doership to hoga, then again ego is there. Dada was say, even I am not a doer. I am only an instrument. So same way, we have to be instrument. We have to be in the egoless state. Essentially, uh, as our discharge ego also diminishes, this process will happen. The process of becoming instrumental.
right. Okay. Thank you very much. Jai Satchit.
Yes.
Hey, Jai Sachidanand. So, Pulinanandji, I also want to add that, we've been doing this experiment for last 2 weeks. So, this has really tremendously helped in the, like you said, separation, awareness, or all the 3 aspects, And I'm still working on vihara because all the time, like when we go in a car outside, you are aware of the vihar and vihari, but in the home, when you go from one place to another, they still become mechanical, and I'm trying to be more aware of Rajini being walking around doing this and that. So.
Yeah, that's true. It's always easy first outside. Inside what happens is we are engrossed in the work, do this work, that work, go here, this
Yeah,
there. So
yes.
that will happen. But it's okay. you see, if we don't have a work in our mind that I have to do this, I have to go to kitchen to make coffee, for example, gross example, or I'm going to the bedroom for or hall to watch TV or get the newspaper or XYZ. So if you don't have such an agenda in our movement, if the antaskarana is not occupied, then this awareness will come up automatically.
Yes, okay, yes, yes.
This is the reason, and it will happen, you see, as and when all those discharge more also will reduce, then that awareness of that file number 1 is going here and doing that will happen. So it's an interplay of that discharge more and the intensity of this work being done. I have to make coffee, I have to go for bath, I have to do the bed or whatever XYZ. So that will be there. So then that separation will not remain at that point of time. But if that activity is not so intense, then this will happen. So basically my understanding is, as our Jagruti or awareness increases, this will happen by default, that even at home or outside, we will remain separate. Essentially, we have to become separate. Then the observer will be by default. But you can start with being a separate, being an observer, and then you'll come inside. But when you're stretching yourself to be an observer, ahari, vihara, you will be able to observe what is it that is preventing me in being that? What is hindering my awareness? And that is the source of Purusharth. And it will take time. You see, this is Akaram Vignan. We have brought a lot of karma, so those will have to play out. At the time of charging, you are engrossed in the activity. I want to do this, this, this. So at the time of in previous birth, while charging. And now, while discharging, that engrossment will be by their default. Only then the activity will take place, you see. So once this file exhausts or the intensity of the thing will exhaust, then this awareness will be more. We come into our behaviors. You see, your Purusharth is that it should come into behavior. Vartan ma avu જોઈએ.
Yeah.
But that will come when this intensity will reduce.
Yeah, very good.
It will remain by force, but it will not be on a sustained basis. નક્કી કરશો આજે આખો દિવસ તો 1 કલાક રહેશે.
I know. Yeah. Okay, barabar.
Because
Okay,
this is logically the interplay of discharge karmas.
Yeah. Okay, our time is almost. Should we continue this separation of ahar, vihara, nihara?
We can do that. And some invitation from people and youngsters also, social, and maybe we didn't hear Khushbu. Does she want to chip in a word or so? I don't know whether she's busy.
Who?
Khushbu. She was online, na? Kuch tha na?
She's still online. Khushbu?
Yes, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Perhaps next time.
Okay. Oh, that'll be good. You'll get another week to observe. That'll be great. Okay.
Khushbu, what you could do is you can narrate whatever experience comes to your mind. If no Kalam or Vanchagna or otherwise general, okay? I leave it easy for you.
Yeah.
Because now that you have joined and we wish that you continue.
Sure.
Both, all. Kushal and all, both. Okay, I think.
Okay. Yeah, we have time enough. So do 3 mantra and everybody can follow.
Namo vitragay.
Namo vitragay.
Namo arihantanam.
Namo arihantanam.
Namo siddhanam.
Namo siddhanam.
Namo ayariyanam.
Namo ayariyanam.
Namo vazzayanam.
Namo vazzayanam.
Namo loe sava sahunam.
Namo loe sava sahunam.
Eso panchanamukkaro.
Eso panchanamukkaro.
Savapavappanasano.
Savapavappanasano.
Manglanam cha savvesim.
Mangalanam cha savvesim.
Padmam havai mangalam.
Padmam havai mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om